Hi everyone, my name's Kate Kalthoff and welcome to a Stamping to Share video. I am a Stampin' Up! Demonstrator and I'm delighted to share this card with you today. It uses the stamp set called Fine Feathers and Gorgeous Grunge, both of which can be found in our regular Stampin' Up! Catalog. This is what these stamp sets look like. And we are going to get started with a piece of Island Indigo paper. This is 5.5 by 8.5 and we scored it at 4 1/4 inches. And then we will also need an inside panel. The inside panel is 4 by 5 1/4 inches. That's cut with our Very Vanilla. And we will also need a couple of panels for the outside. We have a crumb cake panel cut at 3 by 5 inches. And then we will have a Very Vanilla panel that goes over the top of that, cut 1/4 inch smaller at 3 3/4 by 4 3/4. So let's go ahead and get some stamping done. The first thing that I did is I took a block E and I just took various feathers and just laid them out in a pleasing pattern. And then I am going to grab some scrap paper. We're going to need that in a second. I'm going to take my Island Indigo ink pad, ink up these feathers, and of course, as my customers make this at Card Buffet next week, they are just going to keep this on the block as is. There's no reason to take it off because we can use the same pattern on all of the cards that we create. And that turned out really nice. We're going to take some crumb cake ink and we're going to use some dots from the Gorgeous Grunge, and I'm going to stamp off before I stamp on. I want these dots to be very light so that they don't overpower the feathers. So every time I ink up, I stamp off. And I think just one more right here. Then as long as we have all of our inks out, we're going to go ahead and do the inside panel. So I'm going to take this bigger feather here, and I'm not going to re-ink it. I'm just going to stamp it again, so that we'll have a real light image down here on the corner. And then again, taking our Gorgeous Grunge dots, inking it up, stamping it off, and just putting a few little dots down there. So the inside panel is done. We might as well go ahead and put that in our card. I'm going to use a little bit of snail just along the top here and put this in just like so. Then we will also want to do a little bit of put a few dots on the outside of our card. So again, I'm doing some very light dots. You can just barely see them, but it does make a difference. It just looks nice when you see the finished card. Then I'm going to take this longer feather and inking that up in our Island Indigo ink. I'm just going to set this here kind of as a guide so I kind of know about where that ends. I'm just going to put my feather down right here and give that a nice little push, and we have the outside of the card completed as far as the stamping that I want to do on the main panel. Now we just have to assemble our other panels. So we are going to do that with a little bit of snail. I can just put a little snail on right here, put this onto our crumb cake panel, and then I want about 16 inches of the baker's twine. So it's pretty easy to measure off. I know that this is about a 16-inch panel that I do my stamping on, and I'm just going to start by sort of centering that into my panel, and then I just bring it around and I'm going to tie a nice knot in there. A knot is all you need. You don't need to you can make it super fancy with a bow, but today we're going to keep this card even a little bit more simple. I'm going to bring that around a little bit so it's right where I want it, and then I just have to trim it. There we go. Now the only thing we have to do is add some dimensionals to this card, to this panel. So we're going to add a dimensional here, one in the middle, and then 2 more. And we can go ahead and peel off these little adhesive backings, and then we just have to put it on our card. And here it is, all together. and complete. And now for the finishing touch, we need some of these little sequins. Now the sequins don't come like this. The sequins look like this. You can see that it's just a rope of sequins, and you can easily take these sequins off and put them on a mini glue dot and then put them on your card. Well, one day I didn't have, I don't know, I was doing something, watching TV or whatever, and I thought, oh, I can just go ahead and put some sequins onto this roll of glue dots, and so that's what I did. So now it's real easy for me to add sequins wherever I want them on a card. I just have it all ready. So I think this one maybe right here, and then one more little sequin maybe right there. And the card is complete. Hope you've enjoyed this tutorial. Have a great day, and thanks so much for stopping by Stamping to Share. Bye-bye.